All right, y'all. We are back with another video, man. And at this point, like I've been saying, that Donald Trump should not be going through this crap with Latitia James and this corrupt judge. But it seemed like Trump and Alina Habba had another hearing a couple days ago, so I definitely want to check it out because they said that Alina Habba, she absolutely slammed Latitia James and that corrupt judge. Because like I said, man, at this point, it's crazy. Like, these people are so corrupt. I can't see how Judge Engoron, Arthur Engoron, ain't locked up for being so biased. How you gonna tell a former president you don't want to hear what he got to say? You a judge and you gonna tell this man that you is here, but you don't want to hear nothing he got to say. You only want to listen to this side. You're being biased. And he need to be held accountable for that. And Latitia James thinks she's finna get $250 million? Y'all worried about this man assets? Like, you know, he got thousands of people employed. So like I said, this right here is just crazy to me. Now, they said that Alina Habba, she went outside the courtroom and she had a lot to say, and they said that she did not hold back. So I definitely want to check this out. Like I said, make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to everybody showing so much support. Everybody been leaving positive comments in the comment section. I also want to thank everybody that clicked on this video for the very first time. And shout out to the ones that always watches the entire video and hit that like button as you coming in. That way YouTube will share my video and more people will see my reaction, and that right there is where it helps the channel grow. So like I said, shout out to everybody that always comes straight in, hit that like button for me, and watch the entire video. Without further ado, we're gonna dive straight into this. And this one right here by Forbes said that Trump's lawyer Alina Habba slams New York Attorney General Latitia James. Here we go again, y'all. Let's go.
Good evening. So let's talk about one thing that the press hasn't reported. We just listened to testimony from a man who has such distinct recognitions as an accounting expert that even Latitia James's team and the OAG's team used him themselves as an accounting expert. Professor Bartov was the New York Attorney General's expert in the Exxon case. Let's start there. But today, when he was on the other side, they spent the entire day objecting because he was giving testimony that didn't suit their claims. His testimony included that there was absolutely, and I quote, no fraud, that the statement of financial condition for President Trump was understated, that there was no evidence of concealment, and that in fact, President Trump's statements of financial condition had something that most other statements of financial condition don't have. 18 pages of descriptions and details about his properties, about his trophy assets, things that most people don't need to do and wouldn't do. The reason, because he had nothing to hide and he didn't conceal anything. This is not a publicly traded company. This is a private company. And the Attorney General is now sticking her nose into private companies. This is a very scary moment for our country. We have to have boundaries. We have to have laws. They were objecting every 5 minutes, and I really give credit today to the press that was in there. I did look at some of the feed, and it was accurate. There was absolutely no fraud. The statements were undervalued, and President Trump and the Trump Organization provided Deutsche Bank with everything they needed. Last week, we heard banks make clear that they thought they were a trophy client. They were the big whale that they wanted to get, and they valued their relationship. They said that holds true today. I don't know why we're here. I've said it before, and I say it again. Again, this case has absolutely no merit, and you don't have to believe me. A man that gives the Nobel Executive Committee recommendations on accounting and who should be recognized in accounting, that man that just sat in there for the entire day, made it very clear and had words with the AG and said, you should be ashamed of yourself. And I say it too. You should be ashamed of yourself. Thank you. I'm not going to speak about privileged information. At this time, the president is looking forward to taking the stand and once again making clear that he cooperated, he performed on his loans, they were paid ahead of schedule in some instances, always on time, and he was never
Yep.
in default. But somehow Ms. James needs to fulfill her political promise. So we're here, and he'll be addressing all of that on Monday. Don't forget, though, he's going on Monday with the judge's gag order still in place, so he can't speak about certain things. He has to be
That's
so
crazy.
careful. That is so unconstitutional, in my opinion. We have First Amendment rights. We have rights as attorneys, Sixth Amendment rights, and those are all being violated. And he still wants to take the stand, even though my advice is, at this point, you should never take the stand with a gag order. But he is so firmly against what is happening in this court and so firmly for the old America that we know, not this America, that he will take that stand on Monday.
What can we expect on Monday?
The same as we've heard. The same as we've heard from experts. He will clarify it. He will open himself up to whatever they want because he's not afraid. People that are afraid cower. President Trump doesn't cower. We'll be back on Monday. With that,
Right.
tomorrow we'll hear more testimony from this incredibly intelligent man.
What was your client's reaction to the testimony today?
I think he made it clear. It's more frustration that we have wasted time, that they are doing election interference. This
Yep.
is a tactic that we've seen time and time again.
Yep.
This is not the first or last of it, and we're going to have to deal with it in all the other trials. But I really hope this is a lesson to those other AGs and DAs out there trying to make a name for themselves off of President Trump's back. If you're going to do it with garbage claims, it's going to come out because there are experts willing to put their heads out, willing to put their necks out, and willing to say that this is garbage. And we heard that today, the entire day, and we will hear that well into tomorrow.
Your client skipped out on the days that happened last
I don't speak about politics. I'm a lawyer.
But no, with all the cases that are stacked against him,
Yeah.
does he still feel confident about Monday, the outcome of this case and everything that's...
The outcome of this case was determined before we walked into court. Let's be
Yep,
clear. We're
exactly.
not walking into this court every day expecting that this judge is going to let us off. We already see what's happened in this court.
Yep.
This judge made his determination on summary judgment before we even walked in, before an expert took the stand. So let's not get it twisted. I'm not here fighting for that. I'm here fighting for America with him so that we can stop this. You know, that's the truth of it. And it's a very sad state of affairs. Today and many days we've asked for a directed verdict because there is no case. This case is garbage. Thank you.
There you go, right there. That's what I like about Alina Habba. She don't hold back at all. Just like she said, the judge already had his mind made up already, so it didn't even matter what Donald Trump or Alina was gonna come in there and say, because the judge already had his mind made up. Y'all remember what I told y'all? What he said about? He told Trump that I'm not here to hear what you gotta say. What judge tells a person like that? You telling somebody that's the caliber of Donald Trump? You telling this man, I'm not here to hear what you gotta say. Like that right there just don't make sense. And like he said, and like she said, Latitia James just buttoning their business, trying to get into everything Trump them do to try to take this man down. Just like she kept saying, this ain't nothing but an election interference. That's all this about, because they do not want the man to be campaigning and stuff. Because that's what Donald Trump wants to do, is campaign, which I've said on this show many of times. That Donald Trump don't have to campaign. He really don't have to, but he wants to. He wants to go to Iowa. He wants to go to these places and speak to the people that support him. But you got corrupt people like Latitia James and this judge that just constantly keeping him held up in courtrooms. It just don't make sense. And I'm telling you, all they doing is just wasting taxpayers' dollars. That's all they doing. This judge, Arthur Egeron, need to be locked up, and so is Latitia James, Fannie Willis, Jack Smith, all of them. Up here teaming up, trying to take down one man and then placing another gag order on him. What about his First Amendment right? What about Donald Trump's freedom of speech? But yet you're placing a gag order on him, so he got to be careful about what he say. If he say the wrong thing, he can be locked up. It just don't. I'm telling you, they doing everything to this man to get him locked up. That's their goal. They want Donald Trump locked up. There's a reason why they placing these gag orders on him, to try to get him to say the wrong thing, so they can have a reason to lock him up, and then it'll be all over the news. Donald Trump locked up because of the gag order. He know he didn't supposed to have been said this. That's what they want. Anything to make this man numbers dip. They're mad because he's winning in the polls. They know he's going to be the next president. They know Biden is not winning. They know that. So they trying to take every chance they can, man, to try to take this man down, and it just don't make sense to me. It really don't. Just don't get it. It's crazy. that they sit up here trying to take down one man, and then you got Alina. She's gonna come out. I'm telling you, that's one thing about Alina. She do not hold back. She gonna let you know exactly what's on her mind. She gonna let you know all this is an election interference. She gonna let you know everything that's going on up in there. She said they kept interjecting every 5 minutes. You know how it is when Trump get ready and start making a great statement. They don't want to hear him, so they try to cut him off. They try to cut him off. They don't want to hear it. Like, I mean, they should have took into account when you got a biased judge that already made his mind up about Donald Trump, about what he was going to try to do to him. Then you got Deutsche Bank already came out saying Trump was a good client. He got our money. He paid us back. There's no banks, no consumers. Trump don't owe anybody. Why is this man in this position? Why? Because Latitia James done worried about his properties, thinking he's charging way too much for his property. Like, it just don't make sense. About this woman worried about somebody else's property. She worried about somebody else's property and trying to sue this man. Trying to sue this man for, I mean, not just for anything. She trying to get $250 million on top of trying to put him in jail. What kind of stuff is that? You trying to get all of this money and put the man in jail. Because you remember the little promise she was trying to make outside that courtroom that day? We gonna lock him up. We gonna do this. We gonna do that to him. Y'all just wait. We gonna sue him. Like, all of that was caught on video. It's on video. But at the end of the day, Trump is going to get out of this. And I'm telling you, I can't wait till he get out of this and this junk here be just thrown out. And I'm going to make my video and I'm going to go off. I'm going to go off and I'm not going to hold back at all. Once again, shout out to Alina, man. She does a great job for Donald Trump. She comes out and she going to tell you like it is. And she ain't going to play with you. But like I said, make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to everybody that's been showing so much support. I appreciate it. And especially the ones that made it to the end. And I'll catch y'all in the next one.